My 26F sister, 30F, wants me to give her the baby I'm carrying. My husband died a month ago. Before that we actively tried for a baby for the past 2 years. He had low count and it was extremely difficult for us since we had to keep trying the old way. Because we couldn't fund the IVF process, it didn't make sense to us to go through that and then being bankrupt when the baby came. 2 weeks after his passing I found out that I was pregnant. It was so bittersweet. I love my husband with all my heart and having his child as a dream came true. But I can't keep this baby alone. I've to leave the house by the end of the year. Move back with my parents and basically start over. I'm not economically, mentally or emotionally stable to have this baby by myself, and it's so unfair to bring her into a chaotic environment just for my selfish wishes. So I decided to abort. I felt so alone that I went to see my sister and talk about her. I know that my parents will never allow or forgive an abortion, and I thought that I had a safe place in her. I came undone. Told her how I was feeling. How I couldn't keep this baby and how much that broke my heart because it was the last piece of my husband. Instead of supporting me, she has this bright idea. I can give birth and let her and her husband adopt it. Like mine. Her husband has low count and they've tried to get pregnant for over 8 years. I said that I wasn't sure and she told me that if I did it, I could keep seeing him and some part of my husband will remain in this world. I was about to agree when she saw me doubting and said that if I refused she's gonna tell my parents about it. It was the threat that infuriated me, so I left. I don't have that many friends and I don't know what to do. I don't want to lose my baby, that's true. But at the same time I'm not sure I can fund a proper life for them. I feel like everything is falling onto my shoulders and I don't know who to trust. I've actually known several women who have lost their partner while pregnant. Almost all of them felt like you and no longer wanted to be pregnant. If you have time, give yourself some breathing room. You are grieving and everything seems like a mountain to climb. Seek some counseling if you can. Best of luck. I'm not going to comment on your sister because you only give 1 sentence of information. I have 2 pieces of information to give you. For your parents. Don't worry about your parents. Pandora's box has already been opened. Be it your sister, someone else you have in your life, or even medical staff that lets it slip they've seen you. The chance of them knowing is now non-zero and you may need to brace for the inevitable. But unless you rely on them for material or financial assistance, that is not your immediate worry. People on this hell site have no way of knowing if your parents can be bargained with, will listen to reason, or will opt to take the child themselves. That's something you will have to answer for now. The 2 issues you have are whether you will keep the child, and who will raise it if you carry to term. The former is also a decision we can't make for you. If you are religiously opposed, under some external pressure, or have some other means of forcing your hand, you will have to deal with them. Otherwise, the decision to keep or abort will have to be yours, and only yours. It is your choice and none others. I cannot recommend enough that you visit a Planned Parenthood clinic and explore your options as to whether you can or even should keep your child. They are much better equipped to help than we will ever be, and offer a wide variety of services that are unrelated to abortion. Speak with a professional about your options if you feel like you may not be mentally able to keep your baby in the coming months. However, if you want to carry a baby to term for another person, as is your option, first and foremost, before any talk begins, demand a contract be drafted by both parties, and make sure this contract is non-negotiable, even if it is family, even if it friends. This ensures all matters related to pregnancy are accounted for. including your willingness to have a role in your baby's life. For example, if your sister wants to take over as a mothership role of your child, then write it up that she needs to cover medical costs. Make sure medical screening of the child is in the contract. And see if HAD as suggested has a risk of miscarriage. If you are giving your baby to someone you don't know, you may be asked to provide family history or medical records. They want to make sure the equipment they're renting is in good working condition. After all, you may be asked to carry out pregnancy duties, safeguards, like no certain activities, or even something as weird as eating peanuts and shellfish because it supposedly reduces the risk. The child may be allergic. Some parents looking for surrogates may be like that. Seriously. Regardless of the weirdness you may or may not receive, a contract may be necessary as it seems you are not financially stable enough to provide full care on your own. If I am reading between the lines correctly, talk with Planned Parenthood. Talk with pregnancy advocates. Talk with women's shelters if need be. Right now what you need is information. So consume as much as you can and then you can make a better informed decision. Good luck, human. Whoa, that's insane. Instantly makes me think. Do not give this woman a child to mess up. Seriously. Do what you gotta do, but remove giving the baby to her as an option and maybe don't trust your sister again. Read the title. Thought. That bitch is crazy. After reading the whole thing, my sentiment has not changed. Step back and think about this before doing anything. I'm not sure where you are, but the US has programs that would help you and your baby. You are still grieving. Don't do anything rash. See an attorney and see where you stand. Why do you have to be out of the house by the end of the year? Do you own the house? Is there equity that you would receive by selling it? Do you work? Do you have insurance? Check with your husband's employer. There is probably life insurance there that you would benefit from. Just don't make any quick decisions until you do some research. Where are your husband's parents or siblings in all of this? Do they know about the baby and are they in a position where they could help you? They of all people will want to be part of this child's life so they can have a little piece of their son in their lives. Your sister is a manipulative witch. In your time of need. In your time of grief. In her time to show she truly cares, she blackmails you. Cut her off and keep her far away from your baby. There are other options to start raising your child. See what your governmental benefits are. See what safe houses can support you. Join some pregnancy or support networks and see what information they have. Whatever you do, stand by yourself if you want this baby and set boundaries to keep you both safe. Do whatever you feel is best. I had an abortion when I was 18 because I was also unable to give them a good life and couldn't handle carrying to term. You are not a bad person and you are not depriving your sister of a child if you have an abortion. What she is asking you is extreme. Surrogates get paid upwards of $100,000 and that's without giving the baby to someone so closely related to you that you would be considered their aunt. Take care of yourself. I'm so sorry you lost your husband. If I refused, she's gonna tell my parents about it. She took it way too far with this comment. It's manipulative and vile. With that being said, your sister has a point about a part of your husband remaining in this world. Let me be clear. I'm not saying you should give her the baby, because she is being truly awful. But you also seem like you want to keep your child. And the only thing that's making you seek out abortion is emotional and financial stability. If you're close to your parents, or even your closest friends, let them know about your situation. Tell someone you can truly trust when a baby is in the picture. The people around you will be more than willing to help you mentally and financially if they're close to you. There are plenty of pregnancy support services that can assist you too. This is my personal bias coming into play. But I truly believe you may regret aborting a child which your husband helped to create. Your husband's DNA is encoded into your child's DNA. Ultimately, it's your choice, of course. But your baby will be a surviving part of your husband. You make whichever choice you want to make. But your sister is manipulative. So I'd suggest keeping a little bit of distance from her for the time being. Good God. Your family would condemn you if there's no baby. And your sister would flat out take from you if there is a baby? These people are appalling. Find or make a better family. Jesus dude, whether you decide to have an abortion or not is up to you, but please don't give your baby to your sister. What a vile and disgusting human being. Your sister is really terrible. So ignore or cut her perspective out. I recently lost my fiancé. I was 24 when he died 3 days before my birthday. Now 25. And he was 35. I know that pain and I am really sorry. I honestly think you need to take some time and just think about things. I know you are unsure about the baby. My partner and I were trying, and sometimes I wish I had that part of him around still. At the same time, I think I am glad I'm not in it alone. I am not trying to say you should keep the baby. I am just saying that you may want to take things slow and think about them away from all the stress for a minute. If you want to get rid of the baby, I understand. But don't give in to your sister. She's being very selfish in a time that's already hard for you. Whatever you decide, do not give your baby to your blackmailing sister. Tell your parents you are pregnant. Tell your husband's family that you are pregnant. It seems overwhelming now, but if you deep down want to keep this baby, and I think you do, reach out to them and other support services, your doctor, therapist, grief counselor, and get some support. Go no contact with your sister and don't let her be an aunt to your child. Do not let your sister adopt the child, since she is acting like one herself. Think this through with every fiber of your being. I wish I had an answer. But this is a tragic and bittersweet event, like you said, and I'm not qualified enough to decide for you. You can't go back once you decide abortion. Is there any way you can live with your parents and raise your child? Will they expect a large amount of rent, food, clothes, etc.? You absolutely can get a better paying job if you grind applications daily and keep your current position. Just a few applications a day can reap a few good interviews over time. You can raise your baby by yourself, if that is truly what you want. Just be careful that your sister doesn't tell your parents first and manipulate them into pushing you to give your child to her. Even if she doesn't disclose it first, she will try this afterwards, as that is her agenda. Take care. I am 1000% pro-choice. But the fact that these circumstances surrounding this child's birth may point to some extra soul searching. I wonder if you would feel comfortable in the future, when your grief is less fresh, with making the choice to abort. Not sure your sister is your best option considering her attitude. But perhaps adoption? Do not give your baby to her. Also, why do you have to leave your husband's house? You're married and it should be yours now, unless he has stated to otherwise in his will. See a therapist ASAP. Then decide about the abortion. But whatever you do, don't give that kid to your manipulative and boss sister. I am so sorry for your loss. Please think everything through before jumping to a decision. It's clear from what I've read that I wouldn't trust your sister with your child. Certainly not after that threat. Even before. Imagine seeing your child grow up from a distance. It would lead to tensions both internal and external as to who is the real mom. A professional opinion of some sort might help, such as counseling. I would turn to your parents or in-laws for support if you decide to keep the baby. Also, there must be some sort of welfare program in your country for widows and single mothers. I personally would keep the baby and seek help everywhere I can. Only because it would be the last tangible thing left of my husband. But that's me, honey. Only you can decide what's best for you. Babies are expensive AF. And raising a kid on your own is difficult but not impossible if you want to raise your baby. Adoption is also a choice you have. Your sister is an option and it will give you a chance to still see the child and be in their life. But if you don't want to, there are hundreds of people who will be blessed to have your baby as their own. Remember, it's your body, your choice. Do what feels right in your heart because it's a difficult decision that can and will change your life no matter which path you take. I am so sorry for your loss. I can't imagine the pain you're going through.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. Epic Haircast is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.